The bridge of the U.E.'s Phoenix shook violently as another plasma blast hit its shields. Captain Sarah Chun gripped her command chair, her knuckles white. Around her, the crew worked frantically at their stations. The main screen showed a nightmare. Hundreds of Zarkonian battleships surrounded. Earth's last warship. Shield at 30%, Captain. Lieutenant Jung-Hoon Kim shouted from the tactical station. Sweat dripped down his face. The young officer had joined the crew only 6 months ago, but war had aged him years. Sarah's mind raced. The Galactic Council had betrayed humanity. They had promised protection, but when the Zarkonian Empire attacked, the Council abandoned Earth. Now, 3 billion humans were dead. Earth's mighty fleet was destroyed. Only the Phoenix remained. Captain, we're receiving a transmission, Communications Officer Min Jun Park announced. His voice trembled slightly. The screen flickered. A massive alien face appeared. Commander Zircon of the Zarkonian fleet. His 4 eyes gleamed with triumph. His voice boomed through the bridge speakers. Humans, surrender now. Your species is finished. One small ship cannot defeat the might of the Zarkonian Empire. We have destroyed your world. Accept your fate. Sarah stood up slowly. Her crew watched her. In their eyes, she saw fear but also trust. They believed in her. She walked to the center of the bridge. Commander Zircon, she said, her voice steady and cold. You made a mistake attacking humanity, the alien laughed. It sounded like grinding metal. 1 ship against 500. You humans are more foolish than we thought, Sarah smiled. It was not a happy smile. You know nothing about humans, Zircon. We survived ice ages. We survived plagues. We survived world wars. And now, you'll learn why the universe should fear us. She turned to her crew. Lieutenant Kim, activate Protocol Omega. Jung-Hoon's eyes widened. Captain, that's never been tested at this scale. Do it. The young man's fingers flew over his console. Deep in the Phoenix's core, something awakened. It was humanity's secret project, hidden from the Galactic Council. Hidden from everyone. Engineer Seo-Yeon Choi's voice crackled over the intercom from the engine room. Captain, the quantum core is responding. Energy levels rising beyond all safety limits. Let it rise, Sarah commanded. The Phoenix began to glow. Not with normal light, but with something else. Something that made space itself bend and twist around the ship. The Zarkonian sensors screamed warnings. What is this? Zircon demanded. His 4 eyes showed confusion for the first time. Sarah's smile grew wider. This is human ingenuity, Commander. You see, while the galaxy trusted in shields and weapons, we studied something different. We studied the fabric of reality itself. The glow intensified. The Phoenix's hull seemed to ripple and multiply. Suddenly, where 1 ship stood, there were 10. Then 50. Then hundreds. Impossible. Zircon roared. Our sensors show. But this cannot be. Quantum multiplication, Dr. Chunzex explained from the science station. The elderly physicist had worked 30 years on this project. Each version of our ship exists in a different quantum state. All real, all deadly. The Zarkonian fleet opened fire. Plasma bolts and missiles filled space. But the Phoenix copies moved in perfect synchronization. They danced between the attacks like leaves in the wind. Then they returned fire, not with conventional weapons. The Phoenix copies released waves of quantum energy. When these waves hit Zarkonian ships, the enemy vessels began to fade. They shifted between existing and not existing. Their atoms scattered across dimensions. All Phoenix copies. Engage at will, Sarah commanded. The battle turned into a massacre. The mighty Zarkonian fleet, terror of the galaxy, fell apart like paper in rain. Their advanced technology meant nothing against humanity's quantum warfare. Zircon's flagship tried to retreat. But Sarah wouldn't let him escape. The Phoenix copies surrounded the massive vessel. "Please," Zirkin begged. All his arrogance was gone. "We surrender. Show mercy." Sarah thought of Earth's burning cities, of 3 billion dead humans, of children who would never grow up. "You showed no mercy to Earth," she said quietly. "But humans are better than you. Surrender unconditionally. Tell the galaxy what happened here. Tell them humanity has returned to the stars. And tell them we're coming for everyone who stood by while Earth burned." The Phoenix had won. One ship had defeated an empire. But this was just the beginning. Asterisk news of the Phoenix's victory spread across the galaxy like wildfire. On the neutral space station Harmony Point, representatives from 50 species gathered in emergency session. The massive council chamber buzzed with nervous conversation. Ambassador Kresh from the Vorthan Federation stood at the central podium. His blue-scaled skin reflected the chamber's lights. The humans destroyed 500 Zarkonian battleships. With one ship. One. Murmurs filled the room. Fear mixed with disbelief. "Surely the reports are exaggerated," suggested Ambassador Trillex of the Sealan Republic. Her 4 arms gestured dismissively. No single vessel could possess such power. The main screen activated. Everyone fell silent. The image showed the aftermath of the battle, a field of Zarkonian wreckage floating in space. The Phoenix drifted through it like a predator surveying its kill. Meanwhile, aboard the Phoenix, Captain Sarah Chun studied star charts with her senior officers. The conference room was cramped but functional. Coffee cups and data tablets covered the metal table. "Captain, we're receiving dozens of apology messages from Council Worlds," Minjun reported. "They claim they wanted to help Earth, but were afraid of the Zarkonians." Lieutenant Kim snorted. "Where were these apologies when our colonies burned?" Sarah raised her hand for silence. Their fear was real, Jung-hoon. But so was their cowardice. The question is, what do we do now? Dr. Chun Zex adjusted his glasses. The quantum physicist looked exhausted but determined. "Captain, the quantum core needs time to recharge. We can't maintain multiple copies for another 72 hours. Then we use that time wisely," Sarah decided. "Seo Yan, what's our ship status?" The chief engineer pulled up her reports. Hull integrity at 80%. Conventional weapons fully operational. The crew is tired, but morale is high. "They want revenge, Captain." "Not revenge," Sarah corrected. "Justice." "There's a difference." A knock at the door interrupted them. A young ensign entered, saluting sharply. "Captain, we're receiving a priority transmission from Earth, ma'am." Everyone froze. Earth was supposedly dead. Its communication arrays destroyed. "Put it through," Sarah ordered. The screen flickered to life. A familiar face appeared. Admiral Marcus Johnson, Supreme Commander of Earth Defense. Behind him, the skyline of New Geneva was visible. Damaged but standing. "Captain Chun," the Admiral's voice was rough, tired. "Congratulations on your victory. Earth survived, barely. Underground bunkers saved 500 million. We're rebuilding." Tears ran down Sarah's cheeks. She wasn't alone. Even tough Lieutenant Kim wiped his eyes. "Admiral, we thought." The report said Earth was completely destroyed. "The Zarkonians hit us hard, but humans are harder to kill than they thought." "Captain, I'm sending you coordinates. We've detected unusual energy signatures from the Kepler system. Intelligence suggests the Galactic Council is gathering their combined fleet there. They plan to attack us?" Jung-hoon asked, anger in his voice. "Unknown," the Admiral replied. "But Captain Chun, you have full authority to act as humanity's representative. The Phoenix is more than our last ship. It's our statement to the galaxy." After the transmission ended, Sarah stood at the observation window. Stars stretched endlessly before her. Somewhere among them, former allies plotted and schemed. "Captain," Dr. Zex approached her, "I've been analyzing the quantum core data. The effect could be enhanced. Instead of hundreds of copies, we could create thousands. But ... But what? It would require a human consciousness to merge with the quantum field, to become one with the ship. The volunteer would cease to be fully human." Sarah touched the cold glass of the window. "Would they survive? Unknown. They would exist, but in a form we don't fully understand." Before Sarah could respond, alarms blared. Min Jun rushed in. "Captain, sensors detect a massive fleet approaching. 2,000 ships from various council species." Sarah smiled grimly. "They come to finish what the Zarkonians started." "Orders, Captain?" Kim asked, hand on his weapon. "All hands to battle stations. Prepare Protocol Omega and send a message to that fleet." "What message?" Sarah's eyes blazed with determination. "Tell them humanity remembers who stood by and watched. Tell them we offer one chance. Stand with us or against us. There is no neutral ground anymore." The Phoenix turned toward the approaching fleet. One ship against 2,000. The odds were impossible. But humanity had always specialized in the impossible. The quantum core began to pulse. Reality itself held its breath. Asterisk. The Galactic Council fleet hung in space like a swarm of metallic insects. 2,000 ships from 20 different species, their weapons powered and aimed at the lone Phoenix. On the bridge, Captain Sarah Chun stood perfectly still, watching the tactical display. "They're hailing us," Min Jun announced. The view screen split into multiple sections, showing the council leadership. High Chancellor Vyrick of the Altarian hegemony spoke first. His crystalline face showed no emotion. "Captain Chun, by order of the Galactic Council, you will surrender your vessel and submit to trial for war crimes against the Zarkonian Empire." Sarah laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. "War crimes? We defended ourselves against genocide." "You used Forbidden's technology," Ambassador Kresh interjected. "Quantum manipulation violates 17 council treaties. Treaties that Earth signed in good faith." Sarah replied coldly. "The same treaties that promised council protection. Where were you when our children died?" Silence followed her words. Dr. Chon Zex whispered urgently. "Captain, I'm detecting unusual readings from their fleet. They have quantum dampeners. They've prepared for our weapon." Sarah's jaw tightened. The council had learned from the Zarkonian defeat. This would not be easy. "All council vessels, power down your weapons," Chancellor Vyrick commanded. "This is your final warning." In the engine room, Co Yan worked frantically with her team. The quantum core pulsed erratically. "Captain, the dampeners are interfering with our systems. We can maybe manage 50 copies, not hundreds." 50 against 2,000, Jung-Hoon muttered. "Those are not good odds." Sarah made a decision. "Dr. Zex, you said someone could merge with the quantum field?" The old scientist nodded gravely. "Yes, but Captain, I'll do it." "No." Multiple voices protested. Sarah raised her hand. "This is not a debate. Jung-Hoon, you'll take command when I'm gone. Min Jun, open a channel to the entire council fleet. Let every being hear this." The communication officer nodded, tears in his eyes. "Channel open, Captain." Sarah moved to the center of the bridge. Her voice carried to 2,000 ships, to millions of beings. "I am Captain Sarah Chun of Earth. You call us primitive. You call us violent. You abandoned us to die. But you forgot one thing about humans. We will sacrifice everything for those we love." She walked toward the quantum core access panel. "Dr. Zex, initialize the merger protocol." The scientist's hands shook as he entered the commands. "Sarah, once you enter the field, there's no coming back." "I know." The panel opened, revealing a chamber of pure energy. Sarah stepped forward. The quantum field reached out like living light, wrapping around her. Pain and ecstasy merged as her consciousness expanded. Suddenly, Sarah was everywhere and nowhere. She was the Phoenix. She was space itself. She could feel every atom of her ship, every thought of her crew. The quantum dampeners? She laughed, and space rippled with her amusement. Those toys could stop machines. Not a human soul merged with the universe. The Phoenix began to change. Its hull shifted, becoming something between matter and energy. Then it split, not into dozens of copies, but into thousands, each one perfect, each one containing a fragment of Sarah's consciousness. Impossible. Chancellor Vyrick gasped. The dampeners. Your dampeners work on technology. Sarah's voice echoed from every Phoenix copy simultaneously. But I am no longer technology. I am will made manifest. The Council fleet opened fire. Thousands of weapons discharged at once. But the Phoenix copies moved like a single organism with 1 billion thoughts. They flowed through space, avoiding attacks that should have been unavoidable. Then Sarah struck back, not with weapons, but with understanding. She reached into the quantum strings that connected all things. She showed the Council fleet what Earth had experienced. Every captain, every crew member suddenly felt 3 billion deaths. They experienced the fear, the betrayal, the dying gasps of children. Ships began to stop firing. Some turned away, unable to continue. Others switched sides, moving to protect the Phoenix copies. Stop this, Vyrick commanded. Continue the attack. But his own crew hesitated. They had felt Earth's pain. They understood now. You want to judge us? Sarah's voice filled space. Then feel our judgment. We forgive you. The words hit harder than any weapon. Ships powered down. Commanders wept at their stations. We offer a choice, Sarah continued. Join us in building a better galaxy, or leave now and never return to human space. Choose. One by one, ships made their choice. Most stayed, switching their transponders to show alliance with Earth. The few who left did so in shame. The Phoenix had won, without destroying a single ship. Mercy proved stronger than revenge. 3 days after the confrontation, the former Council fleet orbited Earth alongside the Phoenix. In what remained of the United Nations building in New Geneva, representatives gathered. The Great Hall showed scorch marks from Zarkonian attacks, but it still stood, a symbol of human resilience. Admiral Johnson stood at the podium, his uniform crisp despite Earth's devastation. Beside him, a holographic projection of Sarah flickered. She could no longer take physical form, but her consciousness remained within the Phoenix, watching over humanity. We gather here not as conquerors and conquered, the Admiral began, but as species united by a common truth. The old council failed because it ruled through fear. We propose something different. Ambassador Kresh stepped forward. The Vorthan had been the first to switch sides during the battle. What do you propose, Admiral? Equal representation. Every species, one vote. No single power can dominate others. And most importantly, mutual defense means mutual defense. No one stands alone. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. Ambassador Trillex raised one of her 4 arms. The humans possess quantum technology beyond our understanding. How can there be equality when one species holds such power? Sarah's projection solidified slightly. When she spoke, her voice carried warmth, despite its electronic nature. We will share our knowledge. Not the weapons, but the understanding. Every species will learn quantum science. Together, we become stronger. You would trust us? Chancellor Vyrick asked, disbelief in his crystalline features. After we betrayed you? Trust is earned, Admiral Johnson replied. But we must start somewhere. Meanwhile, aboard the Phoenix, Yong-hoon had taken command. The young lieutenant, now Captain Kim, worked with the mixed-species crew. Former enemies worked side by side, learning from each other. Captain Kim, a Sealam engineer, called out, "We've integrated our shield harmonics with your quantum field. Efficiency has increased by 30%. Yong-hoon smiled. "See? Together we achieve more." Dr. Chun Zex and CEO Yan had established a quantum research lab on the ship. Scientists from 12 species worked together, sharing knowledge that had been hoarded for millennia. "Fascinating," Dr. Zex muttered, studying Alterian equations. "Your understanding of subspace could solve our energy limitations." The Alterian scientist Corvex nodded excitedly. "And your quantum theories explain phenomena we've observed but never understood. In Earth's orbit, ships that had once aimed weapons at each other now work together, clearing debris and rebuilding orbital stations. The Phoenix copies, still numerous but now peaceful, helped with the massive construction projects." Sarah's consciousness touched each working group, offering guidance and encouragement. She had become something beyond human, yet remained deeply humane. A month passed. The new alliance, as it came to be known, grew stronger. Word spread across the galaxy. Species that had hidden from the old council's tyranny emerged, seeking membership. Each was welcomed, their unique knowledge added to the growing pool of shared understanding. But not everyone was happy. In the dark edges of the galaxy, remnants of the Zarkonian Empire gathered. Commander Zircon, who had survived the first battle, plotted revenge. "The humans have made the galaxy soft," he growled to his remaining commanders. "They speak of cooperation while holding the ultimate weapon. We will show them the price of mercy." Back on Earth, Min-June detected unusual signals from the outer systems. "Admiral, Captain Kim, we have a problem. Massive energy signatures moving toward us. It's not just Zarkonian. I'm reading technology we've never seen before." Sarah's consciousness expanded, reaching across space. What she found chilled even her quantum-enhanced perception. "They've allied with the Devourers." The room fell silent. The Devourers were legend, a species that consumed entire star systems, converting matter to energy for their vast hive mind. Even the old council had feared them. "How many?" Admiral Johnson asked quietly. 5 hive ships, each one the size of Earth's moon, and 1,000 Zarkonian vessels. Captain Kim's voice crackled over the comm. "The Phoenix stands ready, Admiral. But even with quantum multiplication, those odds ... were not alone this time." Ambassador Kresh declared, standing tall. "The Vorthan fleet will fight alongside Earth, as will the Sealam Republic." Trilix added. One by one, every species present pledged their forces. The new alliance would face its first true test. Sarah's projection smiled. "You see, Zircon made the same mistake twice. He thinks strength comes from fear and power. But real strength? It comes from standing together." The Phoenix began to glow. Not alone this time, but surrounded by allies. The quantum field expanded, encompassing not just one ship, but an entire fleet. "Let them come," Sarah declared. "They'll learn what happens when you threaten our family." Asterisk. The Devourer hive ships emerged from hyperspace like metallic moons, their surfaces covered in millions of weapon ports. Behind them, the Zarkonian fleet spread out in attack formation. Against them stood the new alliance, 1,500 ships from 20 species, with the Phoenix at its center. Commander Zircon's message broadcasted across all frequencies. "Witness the end of your pathetic alliance. The Devourers have consumed 1,000 systems. You will be dust in their wake." From the lead hive ship, a different voice emerged, ancient, hollow, speaking as billions in one. "We are the hunger. We are the end. Your matter will feed our eternal growth." On the Phoenix Bridge, Captain Jung-Hoon Kim stood firm. Around him, his mixed-species crew worked in perfect harmony. "Sarah, are you ready?" Sarah's consciousness pulsed through the ship. "I'm more than ready. I'm connected to every Alliance ship through the quantum field. We are one fleet with one mind, but a million perspectives." Dr. Chun Zex monitored the quantum readings. "Captain, the Devourers are using some kind of consumption field. It breaks down matter at the subatomic level. Then we don't fight them with matter," Sezionian suggested. "We fight them with something else." The battle began. The hive ships launched waves of consumption beams, purple energy that dissolved everything it touched. 3 Alliance ships vanished instantly, their atoms scattered. "Evasive maneuvers," Jung-Hoon commanded. But Sarah had a different idea. Through the quantum field, she touched every Alliance mind. "Don't run. Trust me. Form the Unity Protocol." The Alliance fleet moved as one, creating a complex geometric pattern in space. Each ship became a node in a vast network. The Phoenix copies multiplied, not by dozens or hundreds, but by thousands, each one connecting the pattern's lines. "What are you doing?" Zircon demanded, his confidence wavering. Sarah's voice echoed across space. "You came to destroy us with hunger? Let us show you what it means to be truly full." The pattern completed. Suddenly, the Alliance fleet wasn't just connected. They were unified at the quantum level. Vorthan's strength merged with human creativity. Selim intelligence combined with Altarian precision. Every species contributed their best qualities to the whole. The consumption beams struck the unified field and stopped. They couldn't dissolve what had transcended normal matter. "Impossible," the Devourer hive mind shrieked. "Nothing is impossible when we stand together," Sarah replied. "You consume because you're empty. You destroy because you fear connection. Let us show you another way." Through the quantum field, Sarah reached into the Devourer hive mind. Not to destroy, but to understand. She found not evil, but loneliness. A species that had forgotten how to exist without consuming others. "You were like us once," she whispered to them. "You had art, love, individual thoughts. You can have them again." The hive ships faltered. For the first time in eons, individual voices emerged from the collective. I remember." Zircon watched in horror as his allies began to transform. The hive ships stopped attacking, their surfaces shifting from weapons to something else. Gardens, habitats, places of life instead of death. "Attack them," he screamed at his own fleet. "Destroy them all." But his commanders hesitated. They had seen too much. The Alliance's unity, the transformation of the Devourers, Sarah's mercy, it all pointed to a truth they couldn't deny. One Zarkonian captain powered down his weapons. "No more, Commander. We've lost our way." Others followed. Ship by ship, the Zarkonian fleet surrendered. Only Zircon's flagship remained hostile. "Cowards. I'll destroy you all myself." His ship's main weapon charged, a planet-killer torpedo aimed at Earth. But before he could fire, something extraordinary happened. One of the transformed Devourer ships moved to block the shot. "No," the ship broadcast in a single, clear voice. "We choose protection over destruction." The torpedo struck the Devourer ship, which absorbed the impact without flinching. Then, gently, almost tenderly, it enveloped Zircon's flagship in an energy field. "You need healing," the Devourer said. "We understand rage. We lived in it for millennia. But there is another way." Inside the field, Zircon felt something he hadn't experienced in decades. Peace. His anger dissolved, replaced by tears for all he had done. The battle was over. Not won through destruction, but through transformation. Admiral Johnson's voice carried across the unified fleet. "Today, we didn't just win a battle. We proved that unity is stronger than division, and understanding conquers fear. Sarah's consciousness expanded one final time, touching every being present. This is humanity's gift to the galaxy. Not our weapons, but our belief that, together, we can face anything. The phoenix glowed brighter than ever, no longer a weapon, but a beacon. A symbol of what the galaxy could become when species stood together. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, witnessing the birth of a truly unified galaxy. Asterisk.